Hi, I'm James, and this is my chambered Gibson Les Paul Standard. This guitar found me, and I'm going to tell you about it. Please subscribe and like. This channel is on its way to getting 500 subscribers at this point. We've only been going for 11 months, but it would be great to hit that mark, and we're so close at this point. So every little helps. Cut a long story short, this time last year I did not have any Gibson guitars, so I'd sold my Gibson ES339, which is a real great workhorse guitar, and the beauty of it was I bought that guitar a long time ago and it had increased in its value since I'd owned it, which is something that Gibsons can do if you hold on to them long enough. One of the reasons why I sold it is because I'd actually replaced that guitar in terms of its function with this. This is a PRS SE hollow body guitar, and I've always wanted one of these guitars, but I could never afford the £4,000 model from the USA core lineup. This guitar sounds absolutely fantastic, and it really speaks to everybody that hears it. They say, what a great sounding instrument. But the thing with this guitar is I didn't even know it was chambered when I bought it. And I find that these can be critically maligned because they're not like Gibsons of old. They're very light. This guitar looks every bit like a 59. It's actually a 1960s standard. So it has the 1960s shaped neck. However, this neck is a lot thicker than other 1960s necks. And I've always been drawn to that size neck in the past. I had the ES339, which had a 60s shaped tapered neck. I had the Gibson Les Paul Classic in 2005. Again, same kind of neck carve. This guitar is a 2007, and for a couple of years they chambered these out, so they didn't just have a few holes drilled into them, the 9-hole weight relief. This guitar actually is hollow inside. I was really drawn to this guitar in the middle of a video. I was doing a video with Taverners guitars on Les Pauls, and they kindly let me use all of the Les Pauls for the last 30 years, all the different kind of shapes and models of the bound guitars. So the traditionals, the classics, the standards, how they'd evolved since 2000, well, since the 90s really. But this one, the second I played it, listen to this it's one of the loudest guitars I've ever heard as a solid body guitar. Probably shouldn't say solid body, but as a guitar that's coming across as a solid guitar. Just to me, it made me play it differently. It's a really lively guitar. It's got loads of punch to it. When you put gain on, the guitar sustains forever. It's a really powerful Les Paul. I found whilst trying quite a lot of guitars that night, and you can see the video, the sound quality isn't quite our usual standard in terms of the voices, but the recordings of the guitars you can hear quite well. You can hear there was just something quite magical about this one. Now, I have played some other ones and they've also been really good, so I do think it might be a chambered thing. We're going to fast forward now and we're going to look at another guitar that came out that was chambered. So Gibson did this and there was a bit of a backlash on the forums. People didn't like them or see them as a real Les Paul. So Gibson went back to having, in the end, first they went to 9-hole weight relief and then they went back to having full solid Les Pauls. That was at the time of around 2019, they went to fully solid guitars again. Recently, this has popped up. I've done videos on this and talked about it at great length. This is my Gold Top. I love this guitar. This is probably, right now, my favourite. I very first played this guitar. Let's have a listen to this one. Just got that old soul kind of sound to it. And again, so much sustain, so much sustain. If I put some boost on, and one of my favourite sounds out of this one as well is the P90 on the bridge. Listen to how obnoxious this is. So this guitar again is chambered. So I weighed it out. I thought this is a really light and lively guitar. It's really, really loud when it's unplugged. And lo and behold, this guitar, it's chambered. So it's a chambered thing for me. If you see a chambered Les Paul, I urge you to give it a go. I'm interested to see those of you who didn't like the idea of a chambered Les Paul, and because there's nothing wrong with those guitars, and you know, I quite like the idea of a fully weighted Les Paul. I've played quite a few, and I nearly bought a few, and I nearly bought the new Les Paul standard 50s with the P90s. I preferred this guitar because that guitar that I tried out weighed about 12 pounds, well, about 11 pounds, which is very heavy, where this is 7.5 pounds. Again, that makes a massive difference if you're using the guitar out in the wild, but it's just so playable, just so great to get the tones out. It's got this lively edge to it. So when I'm picking and stuff like that, it just comes to life. So yeah, I recommend you look at some chambered stuff. Another way to go as well, if you've never thought about it, is go for something hollow. Hollow guitars are fantastic. Now, if I hit that with some gain, so there we go. Hollow guitars are also very cool. PRS SE model this is, made in China by Cortec. I think they make them in China, these ones in China instead of Indonesia, because they can put more time into the acoustic aspects. But again, a lively guitar. Just tends to be my favourite way to go. I've only got two solid body guitars left in my particular possession. That's my Strat and my PRS McCarthy. So these guitars, I'm kind of going more this way. It's not because I can't lift them, but when you're playing for a couple of hours, it's nice, but they just feel a little bit more lively to me, and I find that really inspiring. One of the things that I would just say is when you're buying guitars, and there's lots of elements to it. So some people buy guitars to use live, which is obviously a tool, and I get that, I do that as well. But I buy guitars to be inspired to play more guitar, and I've never been more inspired than this last year, where I've bought these guitars that are a bit more sort of hollow and a bit lighter to play. One of the guitars that gets slated a lot is the Acoustasonic Fenders. A friend of mine let me play his Telecaster Acoustasonic. It was the US model, and I found that extremely inspiring. And again, it's a guitar that's divided some opinions, but my opinion is, as soon as one of them comes along at the right price, I'm going to jump on one, because they are the sort of thing you could play all day, every day. You could really get some things out of it. I don't know how it would work as a professional road tool, because a lot of the music that you play would have to be suited for it. But as something to have in your studio or around your house, it could probably be your most used guitar. So if you've never seen one, or you've turned your nose up at it because it's not traditional, I would definitely check one out in real life, because I've never really understood it until I played it, and then it just made all the sense. It's a little bit like, if you're into motorbikes, a BMW GS. One of those things that when people get them, they tend to just love them. And I'd never, coming from sports bikes, never really got the idea of it until I rode one. And then I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I could use that all the time. So there we go. If you're curious, hopefully you're a little bit more curious about this, about hollow guitars. And actually, they're really not a bad way to go. I think, obviously, at the time, they were seen as a lesser guitar, I think, by the traditionalists. But hollowing out a guitar costs a lot of money, takes a lot more time to build, and I would assume that they cut making them because of that. But as a working instrument and an inspiring instrument, try one out. Till next time, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I urge you to subscribe as we're on a journey to getting to our point where we've got 500 views and 500 subscribes. That would be amazing for the channel if we could get to that point. So please take the time and see you next time. Be excellent to each other.